A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, in this video I would like to show you how we could do exploded view from this assembly model. So for me to do this exploded views, I use the top assembly. I will not use the full assembly of my models of glass suction cup mount holder, since I want to save my laptop's CPU and memory. So I will show you how we could do exploded view on this top assembly, so the idea behind it can be applied to the full assembly. Since in this project I have bottom assembly and top assembly, so this file is our top assembly of our glass suction cup mount holder. So let's take this file as a case for our exploded view for our sub assembly, which top assembly here. Okay, let's begin with exploded view. So in this assembly file here, so under if you go to under assembly, you has this toolbars here, exploded view. So when you click at exploded view, so then you have a setting on your left panel here. So we got to select the components, and we can drag it by using the handle or manipulator to drag our component manually for our exploded arrangement. Okay, let me start. For example, if let's begin with our this component here, our first our mounting plate here. So if I select this mounting plate, so I have a manipulator here or axis here, so means I could drag it. Okay, I could drag it like for example, if I could drag it, we have a kind of track there just now. If I handle it, if I move around shifting, we have kind of a track to show that the distance of our movement. If you look, if I move the part just now, the first step I move it vertically, then I move it horizontally, so automatically it will set our explode step 1, explode step 2. So if you look at, if I delete my explode step 2, so we have explode 1 there. If I delete my explode 1 there, so we don't have any movement here. So we have been set our, we delete all our explode steps, so it was set to original position. So since if you look on this kind of front view here, it's better that we move our component here align with our local axis of our component. So if I under this explode, so if I select this component here, the mount plate here, so we have this manipulator here. Rather than we moving vertically or horizontally, so SolidWorks record it as a 2-step. So instead of doing vertical and horizontal movement, so better we, if you right click at your manipulator here, if you right click at your manipulator, you have aligned with component origin. So this manipulator is aligned with our component origin file, since our component origin file, so this is our vertical axis, so we can easily move. If you look on the track here, we can move the distance, how many distance that we want to move for our exploded view. So let's put around, okay, this distance. Okay, that's if you look, we already it's listed here already, our explode step 1. Okay, let's go for our second component. If I zoom in a little bit, I have a screw here. If I select my screw, so same step, we right click at the manipulator, we align it with component origin, and I move my screw somewhere around this position. And if I select this our mid slot here, we right click at the manipulator and we go align with component origin, so we can make sure we highlight the vertical axis, so we have kind of a distance there. Okay, since we have moved our three components here, so the next step for our explode view, let's move our control knob here. Okay, if I select my control knob, okay, then the manipulator, we right click at it, make sure that align to component origin. So let me drag. Let me drag somewhere around this distance. And okay, we already moved our control knob. Then we got to move, we have our bolt here, so I select my bolt, align with component origin, then carefully select the axis here, then we move our bolt. Okay, so we have already 5 steps for our exploded view, and let's go for the other components. Let's go for I got to remind you that the way the order of our exploded step here is later I will show you the way we could animate our exploded view here. It will follow the order of our explode step here. Okay, so we got to plan first, not simply we just select any component and we move it on this explode. Better we plan it, we select the component in order, in appropriate order for our exploded view. So I think the next step, I think better if we select this, since this control knob here, we have two components here. We have a bolt inside, so we select the bolt first and make sure the manipulator, we go to align with component origin and we select this axis and we move the bolt. So, okay, let's say somewhere around there. Then we select the control knob, select the manipulator, align with component origin, do it again, align with component origin, then carefully we select this. Okay, I select again there. Or we can select this axis here. Hold on. Okay, we already have our bolt selected. Okay, now our, okay, then we carefully select this axis. Okay, now let's go to certain view here. So we have a cap here. Okay, we have a cap there. Make sure our manipulator is select align with component origin, then carefully we select the appropriate axis, then we move our cap somewhere around here, then let me put into, okay, our next component will be our casing here, our left gear connector, and we select the manipulator, right click and make sure align with component origin, and we select the axis, move it somewhere around here, we select okay, let's move our bolt here further to the left. Okay, further to the left, so we have some space for and this control knob, put it somewhere in there. And now we have our, since we already moved our left gear, and we have our right gear, and right click, align with component origin, and we select the axis, then we move somewhere around this distance. Okay, let's see. Now we already explode, or we disassemble our component in correct order. So we have a spring there. Okay, we have a spring there. So so let's move our spring, this spring, select the spring and try to move the spring we move the spring somewhere at the distance. Okay, now I think we have kind of let's remain the only static component that not been moved is our middle gear cutter here. So let's consider this middle gear cutter as our origin in this exploded view. So all the other components have already been disassembled in exploded view form. So let's go to isometric view. Okay, isometric view. Okay, so it seems like in this isometric view is not a really nice view for us to see the appropriate exploded view. So if we drag this viewport, so we select to the view where we are satisfied with the view that will show us the exact clearly the exploded view of all this top assembly component. Like for example, if I slightly adjust this view, okay, let's say for example we are satisfied with this position, this view. Okay, so if we press in SolidWorks, if we press spacebar, in SolidWorks, if we press spacebar, okay, sorry guys, my computer is taking memory, so it takes times for this to pop up. I hope in this recording video it will show this pop-up of this when we press spacebar in SolidWorks. We can select front or isometric view, and if we are satisfied with this view position in this dialog box here, we have a button here where we click the new view here, so we can name our current view here. Let's say for example I name it as exploded view. Let's say I put it exploded view 3. So I have my exploded view 3 there. Okay, so it will already save the view as exploded view 3 in this current this file. Okay, like for example if I move somewhere around like this, so I want to retrieve back my exploded view. So if I click exploded view 3, so it will back to where we save our view here. Okay, now we have our exploded view. Okay, now then we click OK, Okay, when we click OK, we already have our component being exploded, okay, in the orientation that we want. So if you highlight at this property here, this feature managers here, we have the first title here. We have, if you right click at, you highlight this top assembly, this file, the first features here, the first listing on your feature manager. If you right click at it, we have if we click at collapse, so it will go back to the component will back to its original position. When you right click again, when you go to explode, so it will set back to our explode view setting. Okay, and if we click collapse, it will collapse back to original position, and you right click it and we go to explode, and it will go back to your explode position. Another thing that I got to show you, when you right click it, you can animate. Okay, let's go to collapse first. If you want to show kind of animation of the exploded, so if you click at animate explode, so it will show you the movement of your exploded view. In fact, you can save this as your movie file, AVI file, for kind of presentation or something else. Okay, so since this computer taking memory, so it will not show you the exact component here. Okay, right. Okay, we have our exploded view here. Okay, so another thing, after we have done exploded view, so one thing is we got to show the exploded lines cache here. Okay, exploded lines cache here. So under assembly tab here, we have beside exploded view, we have explode lines cache. When you click at explode lines cache, so we have the settings on our left panel here, our root line, where you want the order of our lines cache. For example, like if I zoom this part, our mount plate here, we select the cylindrical surface here until the surface here. So since the root line of this assembly is a straight line, so when we click OK, so we have our what we call this thing, our exploded view root line here. Okay, the lines cache for our exploded view. So we have our, so automatically this it will not show you, it will be hidden here. And if you zoom, if we refresh our view, so it will not be shown. Okay, since it will be hidden behind the surface here. Okay, so another thing we can use, we can use also this pop-up dialog box, the same method for our exploded lines cache. Another exploded lines cache is for example, like if I zoom out a little bit, okay, another component that we want to show the lines cache is for example, like this knob. Okay, this knob, we select the internal bore here and to this internal bore here, surface here. So we have a lines cache, then we click OK. So we have a lines cache there. And another thing, for this bolt, okay, for this bolt, I found out that for this bolt we don't have any reference here. We don't have any reference for, if you select, because since this surface of this bolt is not exactly a circular surface here, so since we have thread there, so it's better if we under view here, we on back our sketches to show the axis of this bolt. Okay, so we carefully select this axis of this bolt, and we select the bore surface here. Okay, bore surface there, so that will show your lines cache for your exploded view. Okay, your sketch line. Then okay, after that we can off back our sketch line there, and let's go for other component. and yes, okay, we have okay, we already done our top part for our line sketch for our exploded view. Okay, let's go for, okay, this, carefully select the axis of this bolt. Since the axis, the bolt and the center of this knob to the bore here is a straight line, so we don't have to, simply we select from this axis to this bore surface here, so it will produce a straight line sketch there. So we have a line sketch for our exploded view. And another thing is, since we have this assemble these two casing here, left and right gear connector, we select this bore to for example, like we select this bore surface here, and we click OK. We click OK, so we have our line sketch there. Okay, another thing, right, so our cap here, sorry, my computer is taking memory, so this video recording is taking a lot of memory, so it's quite slow here. So let me select this bore and also this bore surface for our another line sketch. Okay, so we have one more line sketch there. And what else that we miss? I think yes, another thing for our exploded view is yes, we got to select this cylindrical surface there, and until this cylindrical surface, and we'll make a line sketch for our exploded line sketch. Okay, I think okay, one more component that we should put our path line here. Our path line, our line sketch here is this slot have to be put here, so we can use for example, like this surface here, and this surface should be made coincident with this surface. And if you look on the order of the line sketch is not that the way that we want, so let me clear it again, so we don't use that as our if you select this surface, and let's put this surface would be fit around this face here. If we select, let me check for this. Okay, after we have put all the what we call it, the path for our line sketch for our exploded path, so I think basically we have put the path line there for our exploded view. So let me go to exploded view 3. So we have our we have our view for our exploded view. So this view have been saved as exploded view 3. I name it like I've shown you just now. Okay, we have our exploded view. Okay, so we can save our file. You can save your file. Okay, so basically my original file is a top assembly, so you have a setting for your exploded view. Okay, our next step is that we have to produce a drawing from this exploded view. So similar like I've shown you in the previous video how we make a assembly drawing from full assembly model. So in similar case, when you click at make drawing from part assembly, so it will go to assembly drawing mode. So as usual, you select your template. My template, I already have a template for A3 size. Hold on a second. Okay, now we have our template here. Okay, we have our template file here. So let me click back our view palette here. So in the our right panel here, we have our view palette. So we got a similar approach as assembly drawing. We make a drawing from assembly. So we have in our view palette here, we have beside front view, we have here at the bottom we have exploded view. In my case, I use exploded view 3. Okay, exploded view 3. Let me drag it a little bit around here. Exploded view 3. Then I drag it, my exploded view 3 in this. So we have a warning that since the view of my exploded view is not a true, since SolidWorks has determined that view maybe needs isometric true dimension, so my view is instead of standard projection dimension. So what we just click yes on this, so we have our view there. If you look on our view, you say it's too small compared to this A3 size. So we got in the left panel here, we drag down and we use our custom sheets. So we make sure it's only full scale. Then we click OK. So our view is in full scale. Okay, it's in full scale. If you see, this view is orientation of our view. The view that I've saved as exploded view is not a isometric, standard isometric view, because since this view is a nice view for us to see the disassemble of our component in exploded form. So let's, okay, so we are already now in full scale. If we right click, if you in the panel here, left panel, we already have drawing view 1 here. If you right click on this view 1, you got to show in exploded state. So it will show you in exploded state. Okay, exploded state, show you in exploded state. Okay, so now we have our another thing. Before that, we got to make sure that we off the sketches. So we have the exploded view model and we have a path line there. Okay, our path line, and okay, I think we have put here. So all the other process, I think I've shown you in the previous video. The same approach. We put the first thing BOM. Okay, under notation we have to put BOM, bill of materials. Okay, bill of material. Make sure parts only is there. So since in this video I will not show you the full assemble since it's taking my CPU and memory to make this recording video, so I will show you guys only the sub assembly. So okay, sub assembly of this project. So make sure that when we insert bill of material, we pass only is selected here. So we click OK. So we can put our part assembly there. I want to make short for this video. Okay, I want to make short for this video. So the way as in the previous video, you have to re-edit your bill of material. So you have part number, this replaced by material quantity, and also your drawing number here. Okay, you can refer it to in my previous video for doing BOM. Okay, so I want to make it short, so you got to modify your BOM here. Okay, then another thing, after you put your bill of material, so another thing is the balloons. Okay, the balloons. Okay, for this case, the balloon, let's try we use auto balloon instead of balloon. Okay, if you click the auto balloon, so you have a okay, then if you click OK, automatically if this viewport is selected, then we already have this auto balloon is pop up here. Okay, it's pop up here. So I already explained, it looks like auto balloon do it automatically, but sometimes you will not. You got to readjust. If you select this, for example, you have a magnetic line. Yes, you can reposition your magnetic line somewhere around this. Make sure it is horizontal. Okay, you can move simply your magnetic line. Sometimes the way the orientation of this, we select this. Okay, it's automatic. Yeah, you put that. This component number 10 is our screw mount plate. Your component, our 8 is our mid slot, 9 is our mount plate. Okay, just to remind you again, don't follow the way I name this component, so you guys have to rename it appropriately. Okay, you can rename your component in this BOM here. Okay, and also if you look here, we have a magnetic line here, so we got to put it in nice form here, somewhere around here. So let me drag it somewhere around here. So we have okay, if you look the way this you make sure that it's vertical. Okay, standard practice is engine drawing, do not cross your labeling line. You should not be crossed. Okay, should not be crossed. So we got to make sure that it is, I think it's better for me, instead of put it in a we can adjust it. Okay, we can adjust our sometimes it's auto balloon, so the way the pointer where it points is not appropriate, so we got to move the location of the pointer here. Okay, same goes here. We got to move it, make sure that it point to the right place. And since number 3 is our gear connector, middle gear connector, for example, like this component number 3 should not point the upper portion of this gear connector. It should be somewhere, we select it and put it somewhere showing in the middle. Also for this bolt, okay, if we look even on the location of our pointer for this control knob, we are not supposed to be in this location, so we can move it somewhere around here. Okay, and then may even drag this 3 also, so make sure it's in a line with, if you look, we have a magnetic line, so okay, we can drag, we have a magnetic line here, so we can drag. So basically okay, this basically our orientation of our labeling. Okay, we have balloon labels and we have a BOM. Okay, and I will not show in this video to complete, so make sure that this bill of material is completed here, with all this column must be in materials, not description. Okay, and also our title block is completed. Okay, and the scale is 1:1, you can edit not 1:2. Right, so I think, yeah, I think that's all for this video session, just to show you how we do the exploded drawing, and also we put a sketch, exploded line sketch for the path of our explode drawing, and we put that exploded view into drawing, in drawing mode, so then we put labeling and bill of materials. Okay, Alhamdulillah. So I hope this simple video here will guide you guys for doing your project. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.